Imagine the implications of a weapon with no visible trace, a weapon that could knock out tanks, ships, and planes as fast as the speed of light. The same technology with modifications could disorient and even tranquilize military personnel, rendering them virtually helpless in the battle zone. These are the new weapons of war we will examine in this series. For the past 40 years, the world has been riveted by the threat of nuclear war, and more recently by the prospect of space defenses using lasers and other modern technologies. But while both sides at the Geneva summit will be focusing on these matters, progress is being made in even newer weapons that could render any arms agreement relatively useless. Lightning is the most dramatic form of energy to be found in nature. Scientists have succeeded in creating limited types of artificial lightning, and some think that these could be the forerunners of a new type of directed energy weapon, part of a family of weapons which operate within the radio frequency segment of the electromagnetic spectrum.
This will be the largest spectrum auction in American history. We will be selling 3,400 megahertz in 3 different bands. And for those of you who aren't wireless experts, that is a lot of spectrum.
And are thus referred to as radio frequency weapons. Dr. James Frazier has researched electromagnetic effects for the Air Force for over 10 years, and he, like a small but growing number of weapons experts, feels that radio frequency, or RF weapons, could be the wild card in the ongoing arms race.
You could have tremendous amounts of radiative power, and what you did with that power then is a matter of engineering design and what your goal is.
Robert Bass, a physicist and PhD in mathematics, is working on U.S. weapons research. He says that the Soviets seem to be ahead in a number of areas, and especially in RF weapons.
We are behind the Soviet Union in directed energy weapons based on 60 gigahertz microwave beams.
Wi-Fi connects us at home, at the coffee shop, and just about anywhere. By harnessing the 60 gigahertz millimeter wave band, Qualcomm Technologies takes that Wi-Fi experience to the 5G era with 60 gigahertz Wi-Fi.
Dr. Bass and others feel the most likely form of Soviet RF weaponry would be high-powered microwaves, similar to a focused, ultra-high-intensity radar beam. It would literally cook humans. Scientists say that microwaves and other types of RF pulses operating at specific frequencies or windows can be transmitted with little or no loss of power. Over the past year, CNN has repeatedly asked the Department of Defense and the Air Force about radio frequency weapons. After much resistance, DoD finally said that the subject was too sensitive to discuss.
This will be the largest spectrum auction in American history. We will be selling 3,400 megahertz in 3 different bands. And for those of you who aren't wireless experts, that is a lot of spectrum.
5G is the future, and it will change the way the world works forever. We're going nationwide. Using airwaves that carry signal farther, 5G will fuel radical mobile innovation that makes our lives simpler and becomes essential the second we experience it. We're planning for a 5G future that covers you from coast to coast and everywhere in between, bringing you the future of wireless. We won't stop. We won't stop. We won't stop. We won't stop.
Don't you find it quite peculiar that the world leaders can never seem to agree on anything except a very few specific things like Antarctica, for instance, or space exploration, or COVID-19. And of course, the world must have this technology in 5G. It's an absolute. So, yes, the beast system is here, and you're watching Bible prophecy manifest. Period. End of discussion. Indeed, prepare yourselves accordingly. God bless each and every one of you. Peace and grace to you. Many fish.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God,